Hey, howdy, hello, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Steam Redlight series, the series where we look at Steam's most lowly and controversially rated games to see if they're as bad as the internet says they are. I'm your host for the day, Smirk. Today's game is called Airplane Mode. This game is normally priced as a $12 game and is released on October 15th of 2020. It was developed by Bacronym and published by AMC, otherwise known as AMC Games. What I've learned is that Airplane Mode is AMC Games' first release under the new publisher label, so...
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch!
As of Saturday afternoon, October 17th, the game has 54 reviews in total, with 40% of them being positive. Airplane Mode is a game where you sit in a commercial flight and coach and just do things to keep yourself occupied, so I guess it's less of a game and more of an experience. On this flight, you can mess with the local content on your phone, which includes 17 songs and 4 podcast episodes, and like 20 pictures of cats. If you want to expand on your gallery any further, you can take a picture of your seat neighbor and even set it as your wallpaper if you want to be that person. Inside your bag, there's an actual 170-page book, a blank sketchbook, a pen, Bluetooth headphones, sleeping aids, and a phone charger. Also on the flight, you can watch some movies that are free of copyright on the in-flight TV, or go through the magazine, which includes Sudoku, Kakuro, a crossword puzzle, and some light reading. In the game, there are 2 flight lengths, one 2-hour flight where you go to Nova Scotia, and one 6-hour flight where you go to Iceland. These flights take place in real time, and the game will do its best to simulate the experience by taking you through the taxi phase of takeoff, have you watch an instructional video, having the pilot speak over the PA, and during the flight, the attendants will come around to offer food and drink. Well, that's about everything I could tell you about this game, because I was really only able to experience it in at most an hour-long interval. So let's move on to the things that I did like about the game. The game does its best to be immersive and includes some randomization on the flights. Your row neighbor changes, people behave a little differently, and some of the other seats are occupied by different models. You enjoy interacting with that black screen there, buddy? The voice acting isn't that bad either. The pilot has the right amount of apathy in their voice, but just enough compassion so that I don't think they're going to dive us right into the Atlantic mid-flight, and the flight attendant is convincing enough to allow me to mistake their concern with affection. And that's about everything good I have to say, so surely it's time to move on.
Don't call me Shirley.
I like to start with minor inconveniences and move on to the bigger problems in the game, so I'll start off with why the fuck do I have to do a Sudoku puzzle with a pen? There's no way to erase any of your markings. If you make a mistake, you're going to have to find a coping mechanism because, well, that's it, pal. That's the end of it. At least with the sketchbook, I can just turn to a new page. The phone you have in this game is pretty buggy. I've gotten stuck in the phone UI 2 different times, which renders the phone useless because I can't leave the settings drop-down menu. This sucks because after the second time, I didn't really want to waste my time with it anymore, so I have no idea if any of the songs or podcasts are decent since I can't pair the headphones successfully without getting stuck. There are also some graphical bugs and/or oversights that I noticed when I was going through the magazine. So, for example, the text doesn't fit into the printed box on this page, so the text goes outside of the print box. I suppose this could be on purpose, but it doesn't look good, so if it was on purpose, it was a bad idea. Also in the magazine, there's a section of the Sudoku puzzle where it shows you last week's answers, but in the image, it doesn't even show all 81 squares. It cuts out the outer layer. There's also this map that shows all the routes that this airline can take as destinations, but there's no shown route path that the airline company acknowledges to Nova Scotia, where the Halifax airport is for the short 2-hour flight. These things are just an ode to how poorly tested this game seems to be. Another thing that bothers me is that there's 31 achievements in this game, and I can't tell if achievements are broken or not because all 31 of them are hidden in the library. However, Steam and their infinite wisdom displays all the achievements, even the hidden ones, if you look through them on the store page. They just don't give you the description. But based on the titles of some, I feel like I should have unlocked some of them, such as observing etiquette, which looks like you should get when you take your bag out from under the seat in front of you, and then you put it back. But I could be wrong. I just don't really understand why all 31 achievements are hidden from the player. And lastly, this game does in fact have a memory leak issue, which the developer did acknowledge, and this is in addition to the game crashing, which may or may not be related. For the memory leak, it only occurred on my first attempt of the 2-hour flight and crashed about 5 minutes after eating up all of my computer resources. After restarting on the longer 6-hour flight, the game crashed after 8 minutes. I tried the short flight again, but the game crashed after 13 minutes while using the phone. For my 4th attempt, I was pleasantly surprised when the game didn't crash until after I was halfway through my 2-hour flight while I was working on my Sudoku puzzle. And for my 5th and final attempt, the game crashed after 20 minutes, and I decided that was enough.
They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash.
Now that I've poured out my heart and soul, I think we have enough information to reach a verdict. Some things that I liked in no particular order are the randomization of passengers and events on flights. I think it's nice if you get a chance to experience them. I also think that the voice acting is appropriate and sufficient. Some things that I disliked, from least disliked to most disliked. Bad gameplay decisions where I can't erase writing. There's UI and graphical bugs and/or oversights. There's questionable achievement unlocks and or just a questionable overall achievement structure. And the game continuously crashes with the occasional overconsumption of computer resources. Ultimately, I must say that I do not recommend airplane mode. I hope that this game can fix the points I touched on earlier, because as it stands, $12 is far too much for a game with such questionable quality. I do see some value in this game and was excited to try and experience it, as oddly as that may sound to some people, but this product just came up far too short to be enjoyable. And that's about all that we've got time for today, so thanks for watching. If you like what I do, please don't forget to like the video if you liked it for any reason. You can also help me by sharing this video with someone who may enjoy it. I welcome any comments on what your thoughts about this game may be, and lastly, subscribe if you couldn't shirk the smirk, and maybe I'll see you next week.